because like even a client like AT&T, big
Mm-hmm.
client, usually your losses on a bigger client are way bigger than
Yeah.
any one client they will ever bring to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you got to kind of look at it from both ends of the spectrum. I mean, if you're charging AT&T $100,000 a month and it's costing you $110,000 a month to keep them, and they're bringing in $5,000 a month of extra revenue, maybe you have an ROI within 6 months, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe you don't. So you got to kind of put all that together and see whether it's worth keeping them. But I've actually, one of my former lives, I had to fire Ford.
Wow.
Ford Motor Company was one of our clients, and at a certain point, it was not profitable. It was a big hit to the company.
Mm-hmm.
Revenue wise went down by 27%, if I remember correctly.
Wow.
But at that point, it's like, 27% revenue loss, but at the same time, how much money is actually hitting the bottom line? And the truth of the matter was we weren't making money with that client.
Yeah. No, makes sense. Makes sense. And I've seen examples of customers or companies doing what you've done, and then putting the focus against the customers that were bringing money actually,
Mhm.
and multiplying actually the revenue on that side. So, but yeah, it takes a lot of courage to do what you have been doing. So
Yeah, well, it's experience more than courage, because you get burned once. I mean, as a good businessman, you get burned once. You learn. Burned twice, like shame on me. But if you keep getting burned, you're not a real businessman, right? You got to learn from your mistakes.
yeah.
And I've been there. I've been there where I held on and held on and held on to that client, and it was the wrong thing to do because it was affecting the other clients. I mean, think about it this way: you have a bad client, it's going to bring in bad energy within the organization, right? Because you're going to
Mhm.
have interactions, you're going to have fighting, you're going to have all this stuff. Now your culture is going to start to affect. You might have more disengaged employees. And now
Mhm.
when the good client calls, that employee is disengaged because they just had a bad interaction with your bad clients. Now that other client is not getting the experience that they deserve.
Let's Talk About CX is a show from No Stress Media. To learn more about our shows, please visit nostress.media, where you can sign up and be alerted whenever we have a new episode. I'm also inviting you to check Digital Explained to My Mom, our podcast where we invite digital experts who explain what they do in words our moms would understand. Check the show notes for a link to the podcast.